Imagine being trapped in complete darkness, 30 meters below the ocean's surface, with nothing but a tiny pocket of air keeping you alive. No food, no water, no light, and the bodies of your friends floating past you in the freezing cold water. This isn't a nightmare. This is the true story of Harrison Okene, the man who survived the impossible. May 26, 2013 started as an ordinary day for Harrison. He was working as a cook aboard the Jascon 4, a tugboat off the coast of Nigeria. At 4:30 in the morning, Harrison was in the bathroom when suddenly, without warning, a massive wave struck the vessel. The boat flipped upside down in seconds. The violent capsizing threw Harrison around like a rag doll. In the chaos and darkness, he could hear the terrifying sounds of metal twisting and water rushing in from every direction. The boat plummeted to the ocean floor, coming to rest 100 feet below the surface. 11 other crew members were on board that night. Harrison heard their final moments, their desperate cries for help echoing through the flooding corridors before falling silent one by one. He was alone now, trapped in what had become his underwater tomb. In pitch-black darkness, wearing only his boxer shorts, Harrison felt his way through the submerged corridors, desperately searching for air. His lungs burned as he held his breath, swimming through the flooded passages. Then, miraculously, he found it. A 4-foot-high air pocket in the engineer's office. But this wasn't salvation. It was simply a delay of the inevitable. The freezing Atlantic water had already dropped his body temperature to dangerous levels. He was shivering uncontrollably. Hypothermia was setting in. The salt water stung his skin. He had no food and no fresh water to drink. The air he was breathing was filled with carbon dioxide from his own exhalations. With each breath, the oxygen was depleting. Harrison knew that eventually he would simply fall asleep and never wake up. He could hear the sounds of the ocean pressing against the metal hull. Every creak and groan made him wonder if the structure would collapse and crush him. Time became meaningless in the absolute darkness. Was it day or night? Had it been hours or days? He prayed continuously, asking God for a miracle he didn't believe would come. Harrison had been trapped for nearly 60 hours when something extraordinary happened. A diving team from DCN Diving, a Dutch company, had been sent to the wreck site, but they weren't looking for survivors. After 2.5 days, everyone assumed all crew members were dead. They were there only to recover bodies. South African diver Nico van Heerden descended into the dark wreck, his underwater camera recording everything. He was systematically searching through the vessel when suddenly he felt something that made his heart stop. A hand gently grabbed his arm. In that moment of pure shock, Nico realized he was face to face with a living person. Harrison, weak and desperate, had reached out to touch what he thought might be a hallucination. The video captured Nico's stunned reaction as he radioed to the surface, his voice shaking with disbelief. "He is alive! He is alive!" The rescue team faced a critical problem. They couldn't simply bring Harrison to the surface. After spending 60 hours at depth, his body had absorbed dangerous amounts of nitrogen gas. Bringing him up too quickly would cause the nitrogen to form bubbles in his bloodstream, a condition called decompression sickness that would kill him within minutes. The divers worked carefully, fitting Harrison with diving equipment and slowly guiding him through the submerged corridors he had navigated in darkness days earlier. Once at the surface, Harrison was immediately placed inside a decompression chamber where he would spend another 60 hours, gradually releasing the nitrogen from his body. During those 3 days in the chamber, Harrison processed everything he had endured. The loss of his colleagues, the impossible survival, the miracle of his rescue. He initially vowed never to return to the sea, but something changed within him. The men who saved his life were divers. They had risked their own safety to bring him home. Inspired by their courage and skill, Harrison made a decision that shocked everyone who knew his story. He trained and became a certified commercial diver himself. Today, Harrison Okene works in the same waters where he nearly died, helping others and honoring the memory of the 11 crew members who didn't survive that terrible night. His story reminds us that even in our darkest moments, hope can survive.